Okay, so I've got those marking points, our dots and our notches, all pinned together along here. And you can see I've got E's, right? See that extra there, that one's on each side? One is kind of over the front of the shoulder area. The other one is over the back shoulder blade area. So I'm going to turn this around a minute because now I'm going to work with it from the shirt side. And why that is because when you have this ease that we have to get in here, that we have to ease and stretch in little sections to make it fit, the side that has all the extra ease, this one right there, which just happens to be the sleeve side, that's the side I want down next to the feed dogs, because the feed dogs on your bottom by the bobbin actually help to ease. They move it through. So whenever you've got one side that has to be shaped and has a lot more ease in it, you see how when I pull it out and get it straightened out there, this is the one I'm kind of pulling, the shirt, and then the other one is the ease that has to lay into that space. So now we're going to do just a little bit more pinning, not a lot, but what we're going to do is we're going to give ourselves a guide point for that extra ease that's right there. And this is what I call pin easing. And so what we're going to do is we're going to divide up our extra in halves and start to pin that down away. If you're putting your sleeve completely in the round, this is how I do that as well. And pin baste it in, or pin ease it in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose, I'm just going to put a pin here. And now we're working from this back side, not the sleeve side, like this. And what I've done, oops, not quite even. Let's do another shot of that. Put a little more of that ease dispersed. Is I put some of it on that side and some of it on this side, kind of divided it down into half again. So that now when I'm at the machine, I'm going to continue to get my raw edges even. I just divide this down one more time too. But I'm not going to put a whole bunch of pins in it. I'm just going to keep dividing down this ease, keeping my raw edges even, stretching them out, seeing that when I stretch it and pull, this has bias in it, it's a curve, so I can kind of stretch my fabrics when I keep them taut. This one up there is not quite behaving well enough. I'm going to give him another little shot. Let's see if we can get that to a little better. That's it. And if you do this kind of over your fingers too, like this is a kind of pinning that you don't do laying flat, like almost any other seam, you pin those together flat. But when you've got ease to work in, doing it over your finger, almost in a curve itself, like this, when I'm curving it like that, that actually lets me pin in some ease. Put one in over here, and just shape that right in now. I've matched, right there is my center top, and I've matched that. So I don't want to remove that pin, so we're going to just ease around this part. I'm just going to play with this until I feel like it's really gotten that ease pinned out. There's another pin right in the middle of that little bubble so that we're just pinning them down. So we're creating an area to stitch. And notice my pins, they go in, like my stitch line is 5/8, and I'm straddling my stitch line. We're creating an area that I like to call the highway that is nice and flat for us to stitch in. We're easing in those areas. So I'm going to continue to do this on around here, and then I'll meet you when I get that done. Now I've got that one all pin eased around, and it's ready to take to the machine. But before I do that, I want to bring over the other sleeve and show you the one that's a little bit flatter, how it goes in probably just a little bit simpler than that. So let's look at this one laid out. I'm going to work on the right side of the shirt. Here it is. There's our pocket. And now, here's our sleeve. This is the back double notch, back double notch. And you can just see that we don't have as much, see how more gentle that curve is to pin it into? It's not nearly as sharp as our other one was. So I'm going to start to match up these, and I'll meet you back in just a little bit for this one, and we'll look at this one. And here is this one pinned in at its marking points. And you can see that when I pull this one, there's not nearly as much to ease in because it's flatter. There's some, but not nearly like that other one. So now we're ready to go over to our machine and stitch this in. So I'm going to show you how to stitch this in. Meet you there.